Hello and good morning friends, welcome to the CEC-UGC live lecture. Dear friends, with another lecture in series on human resource management. Today we would be talking on a very interesting topic, and the topic is green human resource. We would be discussing on its issues, policies and challenges, and for this discussion we have once again with us in our studios Dr. Namita Rajput. Dr. Namita Rajput is Associate Professor in Department of Commerce, Sri Aurobindo College, University of Delhi. Dr. Rajput has immense knowledge, immense experience. Many of her articles have been published in various reputed journals both at national and international level, and she keeps on visiting various universities and colleges where she delivers lectures and shares information and exchange knowledge. So dear friends, without wasting any time, I would like to welcome our guest, Dr. Namita Rajput. Hello ma'am, welcome to the EduSet lecture.
Good morning. So good morning viewers. So today I would be taking on the green human resource management, issues, policies and challenges. As we know, green is the color of today, and it's a global color which signifies the environment. That is environmental friendly practices. When you talk about any of the fields across the globe, whether it is management, whether it is a social science, whether it is a science, maybe some kind of green technologies, we talk about always sustaining and containing the environment, because it is a common responsibilities for all the people, including the people who are living in developed countries, developing countries and emerging economies for that matter, whether your economy is grown or not. So it is our prime responsibilities to take care of this aspect, that we have to contain and save the environment, because we share the common universe and at no cost the environment should suffer, because there is no planet B where we can migrate or where we can shift. So in this backdrop, we will be discussing today the human resource practices which are green. So any practices which is relating to the internal operations or the external operations will be talking about the energy conservation and using of the resources in a very efficient manner, and for that matter using environmental friendly technology, that is the green technology, and basically anything which is polluting the environment, or for that matter the carbon emissions are more, we are not done for that kind of a technology. For this the government is supporting us, and every now and then there are certain legislations which are being passed, there are certain judiciary aspects which are being highlighted, and when you talk about the national and international conventions and the seminars and the thought process, everywhere we are talking about the climate change and how to counter that climate change so that we are able to save the environment in the coming years of today. So we have one quote given by Mahatma Gandhi, that we have enough for everyone's need, but we do not have enough for everyone's greed. So in this light, we talk about the energy conservation and using of the resources in a very sustainable manner, so that we are living the life today, but we must keep everything for our future generations also, and it is a prime responsibility to save the environment to that extent. If we do not do this kind of a practice, then of course we will be held responsible for spoiling and jeopardizing the environment and not taking care of the future generations, which we do not want. And for that matter, we are enjoying the rains, we are enjoying the nature. So if we continue deteriorating the environment, once upon a time our children will be only talking about the stories that once upon a time it used to rain and we used to play in the mud, etc., etc. So under this light, since we talk about, and the series is all about the human resource management, so we must concentrate here that whatever practices which we do and whatever training we give to the new incumbents must be focused about conserving and saving the environment. So this is what is all about the green human resource management. There are certain, of course, the policies and the challenges and the new emerging horizons and the perspectives which we'll be talking about as and when my lecture would be further. So in this slide, let us have some kind of an introduction about what the green human resource management is all about. So let us have a look on this. Recently, there has been observed an increasing awareness within the business communities on the significance of going green and adopting the various environmental management techniques. As the corporate world is going global, the business is experiencing a shift from a conventional financial structure to a modern capacity-based economy which is ready to explore the green economic facets of the business. Today, The green human resource management, and during the further of the lecture, I would be calling it GHRM, has become a key business strategies for the significant organizations where the human resource developments play an active role in going green at the office. So when you talk about the human resource management and the practices of the modern contemporary and the global aspects of today, that every organization is going green and every organization is going global. So we do not have any kind of a national and international perspective. We are connected globally, and we are just attached through the network of internets, that is, we call it as the internet. So as a prime responsibility that the global human resource management and the green human resource management, it has to play a very vital and a key role, because we have to formulate some kind of a strategy so that the green color is maintained. So when you talk about the green color is not the green itself. It is all about having a vision for sustaining and containing the environment at the focus and at the main aspects of the business strategies. Now the term green human resource is most oftenly referred to as the contribution of the people's management policies and practices towards the broader corporate environmental agenda. This central system is connected to all human resource related process. A notable feature is that the employees and the managers interact directly with the human resource management system through a self-service functionality which eliminates the delays, the inaccuracies, the inefficiencies of a paper-bound system. Now when you talk about the paper-bound system, it is all about going paperless, because you know that to plant a tree, and when the tree is grown, it takes a lot of years, and it's like growing of a human child. So we do not have right to cut the trees. In fact, we should always inculcate such a habit to have a green drives and plant more and more of trees, because this is the only future army which would be available to fight against the decarbonized and the polluted environment which we are going to, in fact we are facing these days also. So we should try and formulate such strategies, and this is a part and parcel of the green human resource practices, that you should go paperless. And as you talk about the eliminating the inaccuracies, it is also very important, because we are having very limited resources with us. So we have to adopt certain means and strategies so that we are able to conserve those resources, because they are very limited in aspects. And when you talk about the elimination of the inefficiencies, that is also very, very important, and we have to conserve every bit of the environment, and to whatever endeavors we do, we have to contain and save the environment in this matter. So prime responsibility is of the human resource management, because it is the human resources which have to inculcate, and we have to develop such strategies, because they are the only living factor of production, and they have to adopt certain ways and means which would help in saving the environment in the future. Now the typical green activities, when you talk about, include the video recruitment or the use of online and the video interviews to minimize the travel requirements, and the green rewards can also include the use of the workforce and the lifestyle benefits, ranging from the carbon credit offsets to free bicycles, to engage people in the green agenda, while continuing to recognize their contribution as well. Now, while many employees often feel it is a responsibility to protect the environment while they are at work, the new workforce of the millennium is emphasizing the environmental consciousness as they choose their employers. So there is also a broader opportunity to engage the workforce, given that more and more people seek meaning and self-actualization in their jobs. So in this particular aspect of what green HR is, it has a very meaningful aspects behind it. So let me cover it one by one. The first is that when you adopt certain practices which is having less environmental damage, that is, we are increasing the sustainable footprints and we are trying to reduce the carbon footprints. This is primarily the most important aspect of the environmental saving, and saving from the degradation and saving from the decarbonization or the carbonization of the economy. So all the efforts have to be done and all the endeavors have to be directed towards decarbonizing the economy, and having a video conferencing while recruitment is also one of the best endeavors which the corporates can engage, because here you are connected through internet as you're watching me live giving a lecture, you're not here, but yes, the basic purpose of viewing of the lecture is fulfilled. That is, you're able to hear me and I'm able to endorse whatever I know to you. So similarly, when you are in the corporate world, so all the practices which the human resource department is all about, so they are taking the use of the information and communication technologies, reducing the carbon footprints and increasing the sustainable footprints. So when you're connected through video conferencing, so people are online and you have to have a face-to-face interaction between the two, and whatever questions you want to have, you can always ask, and whatever doubts you have, you can always clear. So the technology is the mother of everything these days, and you can best take the best use of this technology and reduce the carbon emissions in the economy by adopting these kind of technological aspects and the framework, which is definitely going to increase the sustainable footprints in the economy. And for that matter, each and every corporate step must be taken to take care of the environment as such. So, somewhere down the line, you can always announce certain green rewards, like if any of your employees is adopting and taking care of the green technology, so some kind of a reward system can be endorsed in the company, so that whenever a step has been taken which is a green step, each step is rewarded, and all the people who are not adopting these points, they are deprived of the rewards. So the reward system can be a very motivating and a very important factor which can really help in increasing the green steps in the corporate sector. So this is most important these days. Now, in a nutshell and in a brevity of the aspects, let us have a look on what green HR is all about. The green HR is the use of the human resource management policies to promote the sustainable use of resources within the business organizations, and more generally, it promotes the cause of environmental sustainability. The green human resource involves basically the two essential elements. Number one, the environmental friendly HR practices. Number two, the preservation of the knowledge capital. Now, taking this definition forward, the HR function basically it is a driver of the environmental sustainability within the organization by aligning the practices and the policies with the sustainable goals, reflecting an eco-focus. So we have seen in this definition that whatever we do, and basically the main drivers is the human resource department. So they take all the best efforts and the endeavors to implement this kind of a policy, and the whole focus is all about on the eco focus, that is the environmental friendly vision. Now, in a nutshell, we can say that creating a green world where consumers and employee, they force change, and in fact, the human resource function can be renamed as the people and society. Now, when you talk about the people and society, it means what? That you are taking care of the society, you are taking care of the resources of the society, and you're taking care of the people as such. So there is a sustainable millennium goal behind it. And for that matter, the main focus and the prime focus is the environmental saving aspects. Now, there has to be a question in everyone's mind that why do we have to go green? So there are, very important logic behind it, because definitely when you go green, the environment is very good. So it is a healthy work environment, because everywhere down the line, you are saving the environment, you are conserving on the resources, you are, having the best use of the technology and the information and the communication. And of course, the companies which are using this kind of a green practices, they are definitely a better brand in the economy, and of course the employer and employee relationship is increased, and it is definitely good in this case. Now I'll give you an example of a multinational company called IBM. It is allowing their employees to operate from home. So this is a very important sustainable and a green human resource practice, that the individual need not come to the office, or maybe they can fix up few days by by which they can, operate 3 days from home and 4 days from the office, and so on and so forth. So, if they are applying this kind of step-by-step ladder approach in order to conserve the environment, this is a very beautiful concept, because ultimately this is going to conserve the environment. Because if you come to the office, you have to take your car, you have to park your car, you have to use the resources of the economy, you have to use the resources of the corporate, you need each and every inch to work, and so on and so forth. So, lot of expenses are saved, and it is cost effective also. It is, decarbonizing the economy also, and it is having a best efforts, and, the sustainable footprints are increasing also. So, there's a reduction of time, and there's a flexibility, and of course, you will be able to sustain the ecological balance, which is the need of today, because having a sustainable and a green world is the need of today. And of course, each and every endeavor which the corporates take in this direction is going to save the environment. And in totality, we call it as a green human resource management, because the practices have to be emanated from the top, and that is the human resource management department, because it is the only department which takes care of the 360-degree aspects of the human resources. Now, there are certain green initiatives which I would like to highlight here. Let us have a look on this. The first is a green building. The second is a paperless office. The third is the conservation of the office, and the recycling and the waste disposal. Now, when you talk about the green practices of the corporate sector of today, and it is definitely a strategic aspect of the human resource. Like, for example, you have to have a green building. So, green building is something which is saving and conserving the environment, and it is having some kind of a coating in which the emissions are come, and it is able to conserve the environment. We have a combination of the natural light and the sunlight, so that the use of electricity is less, and we are able to decrease the carbon footprints. Similarly, we have the water harvesting here around the office. We can plant more and more of trees. So, each and every endeavor you can put, when you talk about the internal and the external operations, this is going to give a lot of mileage as far as the environmental conservation is concerned. So, having a paperless office, that is, whenever you have to do a meeting, you can always do through video conferencing meeting. Whenever you have to call, you can have a con call, and whenever you want to meet, you can meet electronically, that is without the physical presence of the people. And for that matter, whatever is the paper which is being used, which is most essential, because we have a diverse workforce working in the organization, and the people who are of more age, they want everything in black and white. So, nevertheless, if we are taking care of that need also, so we must give them the paper, and that paper can be again recycled, reduced and reused. So, there is a 3R which has to be most importantly done as far as the environmental internal operations of the corporate is concerned. So, for that matter, you can always hire a vendor who only sells the recycled paper, because a recycled paper, a paper can be recycled 7 times. So, you can see that how we are able to save the trees in that matter. So, as a matter of fact, there has to be a growing consciousness among the consumers also, that whatever you do, you must have a environmental vision and the focus. Only then you will be able to become a green hero for the society, and you will be able to conserve the environment also. Now, there I would like to highlight here certain green HRM issues, that is the human resource management issues, which are green in color. So, let us have a look on this. The human resource can have a significant impact on the broader green agenda. And for the services oriented business in particular, when you talk about the service oriented business, again I highlight, the employee focused green initiatives can be extremely impactful, since the workforce is often the largest single contributor to the waste and the pollution management. And although the green initiatives are often supported by an operations group, and the human resource can also play a role in reviewing how the business works, identify how people can act differently in order to reduce their use of energy, and the green management initiatives become an important factor in forward-looking thinking business around the world. And the researchers argued that employees must be inspired, empowered, and environmentally aware of greening in order to carry out the green management initiatives. The corporate green management requires a high level of technical and management skills in the employees. Now, when you talk about the green human resource issues for that matter, they are most important. And of course, when they are most important, so you have to find out a good environment to implement that also. Because theoretically, everyone knows that this is the time where your vision and your transformation and the individual social responsibility towards the business is most important. Everyone knows, but when it comes to the implementation, you are the first one to, spoil it and first one to break that rule. You will just scroll down your mirror and throw the garbage out of your window of the car because you want the cleanliness in your personal area. But what to talk about the environment and the earth? So you must understand that it is the common and the global responsibility of the people at large, and you must implement for that matter here. Now, when you talk about the service sector, we are only able to blame the people here. So here the transformation in terms of the vision and the development of the environmental vision is most important in this case. Now, of course, when you talk about the business, you have to have a very forward thinking in this case that if any of the operation is doing wrong or it is damaging the environment, this is not good and it should be stopped there and then. And you should have an open door policy for that matter. In this case, if you find any of the operations which is done by the employer is wrong or it is anyway jeopardizing the environment, in that case you must have a voice and your voice will be heard, because nowadays whatever step we do across the globe, we have only one vision in mind, that we have to save the environment. So human resource management must every now and then engage certain programs in which proper knowledge must be endorsed to the employees, that how you can make your environment green, and whatever small bit practice, that is the do's and the don'ts, it must be endorsed to them. Like whenever you get up out of your seat, please switch off your computers and put them on a sleep mode. This is going to save the energy. And whatever light system you have in the office, you must use LEDs, because again this is going to save the energy. Now when you have to go back your homes, please do not bring your own vehicle. You should use a public transport. And the people who are using a public transport must be given an environmental reward. So you can initiate any of these programs, and the things must be baked in the mind of the employees that any of the practice should not be non-green, it should be only green in color, because it's again a joint responsibility of all the people, because we share a common universe. Now, when you talk about the sustainability and a greener reputation, this is a need of today. We have internet blogs, we have a social media these days, so whatever good endeavors which the companies are taking as a matter of CSR also, because our country is the only country in which the corporate social responsibility is mandatory under the Companies Act 2013, that you have to spend 2% of your net profits on the corporate social responsibility. So under this backdrop, many of the corporates are having a corporate social responsibility departments. They have a strategic framework in which they join their hands with different NGOs, with the different social firms, which are doing a lot in various sectors like education, health, hospitals, etc. So we must join hands as a matter of fact, and for that matter, if there is a casual observer of a social trends, they must recognize on the social networking websites that yes, this company is doing a lot. Like the ITC companies having a good name in CSR, they have won the different social responsibility awards also. So you must be very well aware of this fact, that the companies which are doing lot of factors in relation to the sustainability aspect of the environment, they have a very good reputation, their investment is more high, and when you talk about the profitability and the connection of the social stewardship, it is definitely very, very positive. So I'll expand on this with one line more, that the companies which are doing socially good, they are also doing financially good, just for the layman. So that means the old myth has proved to be wrong, that is the companies which are spending on the society, they are losing on the profits. No, this is not the case today. The companies which are spending more on the corporates, more corporates on the society and taking care of the society, They are even earning more. As far as their reputation is concerned, it is more. As far as their share prices are concerned, it is more. So it is a kind of a win-win situation for both. That is, the society is also getting the benefits out of the spendings of these companies, whereas it is the reputation of the companies also which is going high on the indexes also. So we must have a environmental stewardship. We must have the environmental responsibility as a corporate, and we should not be doing any kind of an activity and any of the act which is going to spoil and jeopardize and damage the environment, since we do not have any kind of a right in this regard. So definitely under this backdrop, there is a strong need for a green human resource management, and for the last 2 decades in this century, we have witnessed a unanimous consensus for the need of a realistic environmental management drive all over the world, and this effort was undertaken since the damaging effects of the different pollutants, among which the industrial waste being major culprit, has been deteriorating and depleting over the natural resources very fast and has been very evident. I must make a note of it, that is, the Magna Carta on the human environment was declared in the first United Nations Conference on the Human Environment held in June 1992 in Stockholm, declared that to defend and improve the human environment for the present and the future generations have become an imperative goal for the mankind. And the scholars of the management around the world are now analyzing the various managerial practices that can facilitate the achievements of the goals of the green human resource management and also have a significant impact on the environmental competitiveness of the organizations. So here I stop this first part of my lecture, and in the subsequent part of my lecture I would be talking about what are the future directions and what are the basic processes to make the human resource management more green and green. Thank you so much. So, hello friends, in this part of my lecture I would be talking about the green human resource management functions, the future directions. Now, as a matter of fact, the green human resource management is a manifesto which helps to create a green workforce that can understand and appreciate the green culture in an organization. So that manifesto has to be understood by all the workforce in the organization, and they must have to understand the need of making the practices green. Now, such green initiatives can maintain its green objectives all throughout the human resource management process of recruiting, hiring, training, compensating, and advancing the firm's human capital. Now, when you talk about the green human resource management practices, it is the different process of the and the policies of the green human resource management which has to be green. Like for example, when you're talking about the recruitment practices must be green. That is, every aspect which is going to conserve and save the environment must be embedded into the recruitment practices of the organization. Similarly, when you are hiring and giving them the training, you can always use the maximum use of the information and communication technology, so that the training and the hiring aspects are always embedded and are in sync with the environmental conservation vision of the corporate. Then similarly, when you talk about the compensating and developing aspects, this has also to be green, because if all the things are green, so we must give them some kind of a green rewards, which will be a part and the parcel of the compensation of the human resource management. So, let us move forward in this case. The human resource department of a company is capable of playing a very significant role in creation of sustainability culture within the company. Now, of course, the human resource process play a very important in translating the green human resource policy into practice. Therefore, the human capital and its management are instrumental to the fulfillment of these objectives. The human resource function is instrumental in realizing the organizational change aimed to assimilating to the new found requirements for the corporates, and therefore also have a potential important contributor to such a strategic issue. So, when you talk about the human resource department of today, they are the most significant persons to play a very significant role in making your company green. And in this endeavor, they are following all the practices which is definitely instrumental in fulfilling these kind of objectives, that is the green objectives of the corporate. Now, the human resource function is definitely the most instrumental in nature, because they are the ones who is going to sync and make the different instruments work together in terms of syncing your other objectives of management into the environmental vision, so that we are not able to create any kind of carbon emissions, or maybe if we are emitting to the lowest possible extent, because we have to decarbonize the economy and we have to increase the sustainable footprints of the economy. Now, as a matter of fact, it needs to be acknowledged that the intersection of sustainability and the natural environment and the human resource management is a very, you have to have an interplay of these three things together. Let me explain you this concept. When you talk about the sustainability, we say that we are using the resources in such a manner that we have enough for the future generation and we are not consuming all the energies together. And similarly, when you talk about the natural environment, we are not polluting the environment. And when you talk about the HR management, you have to find out the ways and the means and the policies towards it, so that we all have an interplay of these three things together. So, unless and until we, commensurate and, work together, these three types of aspects, we will not be able to have the basic success of the green human resource management. Now, it has been pointed out by many of the HR professionals that the systems needs to be aligned with each other in order to increase the likelihood that the organizations will achieve its strategies. It has been identified by many studies that recruitment, training, employee motivation and the rewards are most important human dimensions which contribute to the improvement in the employee implementation of the green management principles. In order to make sure that the organization gets a right employee, the green inputs and the right employee green performance of a job, it is indispensable that the human resource management functions are adapted or modified to be green. Now, as a matter of fact, when a new incumbent wants to join the organization, So this kind of a vision, that is the green vision of the organizations, must be highlighted on the websites of the corporates, and it must be given due importance, that the people who are having a more understandability towards the green practices and the environmental stewardship, they would be rewarded more, or they will be given more chances to grow, because this kind of a mindset, when they come, definitely the vision would be environmental vision, and they would be always starting their work with this kind of a vision for the future. So when you have to attract the high quality staff, it is the biggest HR challenge, and this is what we call it as a war of talent. And there are many empirical studies which are conducted on the turnover and retention of employees, which argue that most of the important benefit dimensions of the HR and sustainability are retention, recruitment, and satisfaction. The firms are now beginning to recognize that the fact that gaining reputation as a green employer is an effective way to attract the new talent. For examples, the companies like Siemens, Bayer, BASF, and Mannesmann use the environmental activities and a green image to attract the high quality staff. The Rover Group, car maker in Britain, also makes the environmental responsibilities and the qualifications part of every job profile. Increasing the job descriptions and environmental aspects are now being included for employees with the recruitment agenda. So in this particular slide, it has been highlighted that it is a recognized fact of today that the people, when you talk about the employer in particular and the organizations for that matter at large, they use the green image, and the green image comes from when you are actually implementing the green strategies in the organization, and on the social internet, blogs, etc., your name is highlighted that you are doing a lot of green practices, etc. So this is used as a strategy in terms of attracting the new employees, number one. Number two, it is the most effective way of making your reputation also. And once the green reputation is made and you are termed as a green employer, the new incumbent would be happy to join your organization. Not only this, the companies of today, they are making a job description and a job profile like this, that they are embedding one or two basic, the work profiles in that particular job also, which is relating to the environment. So this is a very welcome step. That is, whenever at the step, the entry step itself, the employee knows that yes, I am doing this kind of a job, but side by side I have to do certain things for the environment also, which is becoming a part and parcel of his job profile only. It is not only a standalone activity or a function which he has to perform, it is definitely a part and parcel of the job profile itself which he has to perform. So talking about now the green processes of the HRM, the first is the green recruitment. Let us have a look on this. The green recruitment can be defined as a process of hiring the individuals with the knowledge, skills, approaches and behavior that identify with the environmental management systems within an organization. The recruitment practices can support the effective environmental management by making sure that the new entrants are familiar with an organization environmental culture and are capable of maintaining its environmental values. The green recruitment is a system where the focus is given on importance of the environment and making it a major element within the organization. Now, complementing this, the recruits are also very enthusiastic and to some extent passionate about working for the environment-friendly green company. And the recruitment candidates with a green bend of mind make it easy for the firms to induct the professionals who are aware with the sustainable process and are ready with the familiar and the basic like recycling, conservation and creating a more logical world. So we have seen here that if the companies are implementing the green recruitment policies, So there is a kind of a very strong impact on the new incumbents that we are very happy to join the green company itself. So that image is also very important, and these days without this image nothing is possible. And similarly, they will also develop a green bend of mind, which is essentially the most important need of today, that is to have a sustainable and a green vision. So if you inculcate this at the entry step itself, and it is the prime responsibility of the human resource managers to do this, because if they are not there, so this kind of a vision and implementation of the green practices will not be possible. So when you talk about the green recruitment, they are allowed to log on to their websites and connected through a camera. So there is a one-to-one interview which takes place online, and of course they feel very happy that they are not going anywhere, but still their interview is taking place. So not only this, the environmental commitment of a company adds to the profile of a company. Contemplating these kind of statements, we conclude that green recruitment provides the employer with an opportunity to stand ahead in the crowd and further increase their chance of attracting the candidates and retain them after induction. Corroborating with the recent green trends, we say that the recruitment process to be aligned with the environmental friendly issues. Further, the research must be conducted and address the questions relating to this green employer enthusiasm in achieving the environmental goals, and how to potentially the job seekers perceive or rate them on the parameters of sustainability as has been claimed. And for example, do the employers include green job descriptions, eco-friendly locations, paperless interviews, and such other practices in their recruitment portfolio? Are the new recruits made aware with the environmental policies and alliance of the companies to the commencement of job itself? And the research addressing these questions will help the new recruits to carry out with the green policies as well as cooperate with the management in establishing the green policies to achieve the goals of the company. So here we have seen that the policy framework which you are following of the modern corporate organizations, the green recruitment plays a very significant role, because perhaps this is the only window through which the organization, the outside people sees the organization. So you have to have the best policies as far as the recruitment is concerned, which has to be green. And now we are coming on to the green training and development. So you would be seeing the terms, they are very conventional, which has been used in the yesteryears of the human resource management, but the term green has been added to it. That is, we are embedding the environmental vision in every process and in every strategy and every aspect of the organization. So we are now talking about the green human resource training and development programs, that how and why they are green and what kind of impact this green training and development programs they have on the corporate image and, for that matter, the performance of the individuals at large. So training and development is a practice that focuses on the development of the employee's skills, knowledge, attitude, prevention, deterioration of the environmental management related knowledge, skills and attitude. The green training and development educate the employees about the value of the environmental management, train them in the working methods that conserve the energy, reduce the waste diffusion, environmental awareness within the organizations, and provide the opportunity to engage the employees in the environmental problem solving. Nevertheless, when you implement these kind of training and development programs, the first thing which you have to implement is that you have to first make a checklist of whatever process you are adopting in the organization, and you have to actually transform those policies and the framework into the green trends of today. Like for example, you were using the kind of a setup and the machinery which was using more energy. Now you have to switch on to a concept which is saving the energy, and you must give these kind of training programs to your employees as well. That is how you can reduce the power, how you can use the energy, how you can conserve the energy, and of course you have to develop the kind of a vision which is called as the environmental saving vision, which is for sure going to have a very good impact on the mindset of the employees, and they would be very happy to understand that yes, this company is doing a bit to save and conserve the environment, which is the need of today. So, as a matter of fact, the employees would also do the same thing what their employer is asking them to do, because the focus and the vision and the objective is one, that is to save and conserve the environment. So, the green training and development activities, when you talk about, it makes the employee a very different man with a different mindset, with the different aspects, with a different value system. And of course, it also helps them to embrace the different methods of conservation, which includes the waste management within an organization. Further, it sharpens the skill of an employee to deal with the different environmental issues, and the environmental training and education, along with the establishment of a favorable environment culture for employees where they feel they are a part of the environmental outcomes, and were most important human resource management process to facilitate the achievement of the environmental goals. Now, here we have seen that the HR department can also, give a very leadership management role in inculcating and implementing these kind of policies. And of course, the future research which facilitates the green training on one hand and helps the organization on the other hand to develop the eco-friendly managers who without any hesitation can indulge as well as promote the sustainability throughout the process and would be particularly very useful. So, the conclusion is that from the above discussions that we envisage the need of the hour, that is the organizations should train their employees on the best business practices which are enthused with the green initiatives. Besides, the sustainable training and education employees should also be adapt to educate the customers regarding the advantages of becoming more and more earth friendly and buying the green products. So, the responsibility when you talk about is not here only embedded with the employees or the employers. The prime responsibility is also for the customers also. That if the customer says no to a product which has been manufactured or produced using a bad technologies, customers must say no to it, and they can say that this is not the product which we are looking for. So slowly and steadily there would be a transformation in which the conventional and the bad technology which is emission more of carbon will now be not in use, and of course the green and the clean technology would be embraced by all the people of today, and which is also the need of today. So let us now come on to what is a green compensation. So the rewards and the compensation are the major human resource management process through which the employees are rewarded for their performance. These HR practices are the most powerful methods which links together an individual's interest to the organization. We also start and assert that the incentives and the rewards can influence the employee attention to the maximum at work and motivate them to exert the maximum effort on their part to achieve the organizational goals. So, in this context of the green human resource management, the rewards and the compensations can be assumed as a potential tools for promoting the green human resource management. So you must understand that if we increase some kind of a reward system, or if we endorse them some kind of a good system in terms of giving them more salary, or more in terms of supporting the environment, any kind of point system. So this is definitely going to play wonders with them, and of course eventually by the end of the day everyone is working for the money. So if the money is coming out of adopting a good vision, nothing like it. So this is again a prime responsibility of the human resource department to inculcate and develop such kind of strategies and the policies and the framework in which there is a win-win situation for both, that is for the company, for the employees as well. That is you can link up the compensation plans with the adoption of the green and the clean technologies of today. So in accordance with the strategic approach for the reward and the management, the modern organizations are developing a reward system to encourage the eco-friendly initiatives embarked upon by their employees. So of course here I would be giving you certain examples in UK also, in America also. There are such kind of plans which have been initiated, and the salaries etc. has been linked with their environmental vision, and of course They offer a good compensation to them who complete and fulfill the compensation and the adoption of the environmental responsibilities and the policies. So the compensation and the rewards, they increases the green initiatives in the organization, and it can never be completely free from any kind of malpractices. So developing an effective monetary incentives can be very challenging due to difficulty of accuracy and fairly evaluating the environmental behavior and performance. So we have seen here that when you make your compensation green, that is, you are actually using this as a strategy to motivate the people to adopt the green vision of the corporate. So there are a lot of challenges which you can see, but those challenges can also be countered in terms of making a good surveillance on the policies, and for those people who are adopting the compensation policy for that matter, and which has to be green in color. So here we agree that the companies, they need to design their energy efficient products, process, device incentives to accelerate their acceptance, and it is argued that if the green trends and the compensation systems are aligned in the process of the human resource management, then a green culture in the organizations can be encouraged. By incorporating the elements of the green management in the compensation program, the managers can promote the green behaviors among the employees. So here we have agreed on this aspect that the policies have to be adopted by the organization. It has to be green, and it has to be made as a motivating tool for the people who are adopting this kind of an attitude, and of course you can link up their compensation plans and give them certain reward systems and the cash prizes, and encourage them and inculcate them so that the policies, whatever policies they adopt, are green in color. So every organization and the human resource department has to understand basically that of course the human resource policies has to be green in color, the compensation policies, the recruitment policies, the motivating policies, and in terms of adopting certain policies, it has to be of course has to have a sustainable and a green vision in that case. Now of course when you talk about the role which the human resource department has to play, the green initiatives has to be adopted by the human resource. Let me highlight those. The first is the green building. Now of course when you this is the starting point that whatever buildings you do, it has to be green. It must be having some kind of renewable energy, the energy efficiency techniques, and it must be developed at a fast pace, and we have different councils, the green building councils for this, and again a certain kind of a reward systems can be endorsed in this regard. Then you must make your paper a paperless office, that is the use of the paper is the least, and whatever you do it on a conference call or an email or using of the tabs, and for that matter the mobile applications which are most prevalent these days. So after this you can always conserve the energy, or for that matter you have to use a combination of the natural and the artificial system together, so that you are able to reduce the carbon footprints and increase the sustainable footprints of the organization. And of course the recycling of the waste disposable has to be very important, so you can always implant the mini recycling paper plants in that case, or you can always develop some kind of a compost system here, that is the kitchen waste or the pantry waste can be used to develop the manure, and it can be used as a basic nutrients to help the organizations to develop a green garden in front of their offices. So not only this, the overall responsibility is on the shoulders of the human resource department, because they also have to start everything, they have to endorse everything, and then they have to complete everything. So in this regard I say that the green environment of today is the most important and the most contemporary area where the vision has to be developed. Again I say, we do not have any planet B. With these words I give the dice to Geetika. Thank you so much.
With this note, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much. And today we had a very, very vivacious session where we try to understand the different policies, perspectives and issues. And dear friends, we would like you to give your feedback, because your feedback is very, very important for us. We want to enrich our lectures. We want to give you the content which you are not able to find in the books sometimes. And through these live sessions, through the experts, we try to give you the fresh content, the fresh knowledge. So we would like to have your say on today's lecture. So please mail us at info.cc@nic.in, and this lecture is going to be uploaded on YouTube very soon. All the lectures pertaining to the series Human Resource Management are already there, and we along with Dr. Namita Rajput are trying to finalize a new topic, a new series under which we would be carrying multiple sessions, and we would be arranging more and more lectures. Till then, friends, till we meet next, we would like you to connect to us, to view the maximum lectures of ours, and we would say keep watching us, keep writing us. Till then, take care, goodbye. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so very much.